And then if they don't do that, then you lose the trust of your users ultimately, right? And the user really needs to know that they can trust these AI agents ultimately fully for you to be able to retain them over time. And so it's very important to invest that time into building the right data foundation, into building the right evaluation framework, and ensuring ultimately that your AI agents give the correct answer all the time.
Welcome to GenAI Talks.
Let's talk a little bit about your background. I was so intrigued. You have a background in physics. Can you share a little bit, like, what does that background really impact your day-to-day and working with these technologies?
Yes, definitely. Yes, I do have a PhD in physics, as you said. This was years ago, and I worked on biophysics of protein-DNA interactions at the time. It's actually very interesting as I look at the technology that's available today with AI. For example, AlphaFold, who won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry, is an AI model that can be used to detect protein folding. My PhD now can be done in minutes instead of 5 years. So we have definitely come a long way in the last couple of decades. But I'd say like the common thread between all of these is, really chasing signal within the noise, right? Like really chasing the truth and using data to bring the right information in the hands of the people to make the right decisions, and whether it's like, doing science and trying to find the truth and like pushing the frontiers of science, or doing data and analytics and AI, pushing the frontiers of technology and bringing the right answer to the business users to make the right decisions.
Can you share a little bit just from those experiences, how that's changed or maybe shaped how you think about intelligence and AI tools?
Yeah, so a lot of these are like transferable skills that you bring in, like how do you, first principle thinking, how do you break down a problem into its pieces? How do you use, again, data and, like cut through the noise and bringing the right insights back? But the one interesting thing is that when I was at Instacart, I was actually a customer of Snowflake. And so that gives me a very interesting insights. Like every time I'm in these conversations with the product team, I feel like I bring that voice of the customer back into these conversations. And I always think, would I have used this product when I was at Instacart? What would have made me want to use it? How do I make it easier for the end customer to want to use it? We are at Snowflake, ultimately, we do whatever is needed to make our product successful. But how do we make it easier for the customers of Snowflake also? So I feel like that's also another thing that I bring to the table.
Maybe on the other side of this, a little bit, dig into some of the things that most people might not know. So what are you finding that maybe is a common mistake or maybe a thing that they're not aware of that truly changes the game for them?
Yeah, so one of the topics that we constantly talk about is like, how do you actually increase the quality of these AI agents so that we can trust it as the ultimate business user, that you can always get the right answer from it? It's becoming easier and easier to build flashy AI agents. It's very difficult to build high quality ones that the end user can trust and make decisions based on, right? So how do you know, especially when it comes to data and analytics, when you ask a question of your enterprise data, you want to make sure that the answer is accurate always and consistently, right? So as an example, if I'm a CFO of a company and I go to an AI agent and ask, what was my Q3 revenue? There's only one correct answer down to the penny, right? Now, these LLMs are by nature probabilistic. So getting them to answer a deterministic question correctly and consistently is a very difficult problem to solve. And so I'd say like a common mistake I see is not spending a lot of time and energy on getting that quality to 100% accuracy. And then if they don't do that, then you lose the trust of your users ultimately, right? And the user really needs to know that they can trust these AI agents ultimately fully for you to be able to retain them over time. And so it's very important to invest that time into building the right data foundation, into building the right evaluation framework, and ensuring ultimately that your AI agents give the correct answer all the time.
How are you seeing just across all the customer base, people really putting this thing to practice? Can you give a real story of how people are leveraging the technology today and making better decisions?
The example I'll give you from one of our customers is TS Imagine, is a SaaS provider. It's one of our customers that they've used the Snowflake intelligence to automate their support casing process. And they have now a support agent that provides support to their customers 24/7, has a higher accuracy, and they have been able to automate 4,000 hours per year of manual labor. for these agents.
And maybe going a little bit further there. So for the millions of developers, analysts, folks out there who are wondering, maybe even getting into the career for the first time, what do you recommend people do, and how do you recommend people approach their careers now in this modern day age?
Yes, it's a very important and difficult question to answer. In fact, I have 2 daughters myself, and a lot of times this question comes to my mind is like, how do I think about college education for them? What is an interesting major even for them to study at this point, and what is still relevant when they get to that age? I'd say like the most important thing is just being a lifetime learner, constantly learning, upskilling, and staying curious, I think is just, and being nimble and adaptable to the new technology. That's the mindset that you'd have to have. It's a very fast evolving and sometimes disorienting, if you will, landscape. And so just being able to adapt and just like embracing AI, if you will, and just moving with it.
Yeah. Embrace AI, y'all. One thing I want to add to this, I think is kind of interesting. You touched on it a little bit. Trust.
Yes.
You go to a tool, it asks a question like, what's our revenue? The moment it's wrong one time, trust is hard to get back. Can you share the amount of work it goes into really establishing that trust and keeping it?
Yes, it is not an easy problem to solve, right? Like building a flashy AI agent, becoming easier and easier every day. Building high quality ones that you can 100% of the time trust so that you can make business decisions on is not that easy. It starts with the foundation of data. We've said this over and over. There's no AI strategy without a data strategy. Building a very strong foundation of data, defining your business logic into context that you can give to these AI agents, having consistent metrics across your organization, building a strong semantic layer, and being consistent across your enterprise data. Building verified queries as context that you can give to this AI agent, and ultimately evaluations and constant testing post-launch, and that iteration loop of over time, keeping your agents, maintaining them with high quality is very important. And you're right. I mean, with analytics agent, the bar for quality is very, very high. The questions that you ask have a binary answer. Your Q3 revenue, there's only one correct answer for that. And the agent either gives you the correct answer or not. And you want to know that you can always trust it that 100% of the time it gives you the same correct answer. And because of this level of bar that has to be at 100%, because the user has no way to verify it themselves, and because LLMs are by nature probabilistic, that's why the complexity and difficulty of the problem comes in. And that's why the importance of trust and quality in these data agents are there.
So how can people stay in tune with you and follow what's going on with Snowflake and their new intelligence platform?
We have obviously our developer blog. We have a lot of social channels for Snowflake, whether it's our LinkedIn channel, our Twitter channel, that folks can follow to see the latest on Snowflake.
Awesome. Well, amazing. This has been a blast. I look forward to hearing more. Can't wait to see you in 2026.
Thank you. You too. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Big ideas, real tools, bold moves. That's what GenAI Talks is all about. Don't miss what's next. Subscribe and explore more in our GenAI community.